there's not a clear path for many on what to do next when we realize that, especially for men, especially when that's the script that we've been given. Like, script as in, this is the way it's written, but also like a prescription. Like, this is what it means to be a man. This is the man box. All these things we can't do. Don't do this. Don't ask for help. Don't. That dehumanize us and make us less than. And it's something that, Bell Hooks talks about in a number of her books, A Will to Change, which is, if you haven't read that yet, any men that are listening, please do yourself a favor and read that book. It's going to open your eyes to a lot of stuff, I feel. And to understand that I am a part of the problem and I need to be accountable for that. And then to look back, zoom out and see how much of the problem is a system, a patriarchal system, that I am showing up in my own patriarchy and I am showing up in my own like mind of, of a colonizer and these kind of things. How do I take that all in and say, I can't be this anymore? And for a lot of people, when they get sober, it is an AA program. I do not believe in any higher power like you. It sounds like you've probably had a deconstruction of your religion and faith. I am probably what I would call an anti-theist. I think that we are at a point that we no longer need it. I think that there's a lot to that. That's a totally different conversation. But for me, when I first started looking at ways to get sober, it didn't make sense for me to go to AA. Because the second rule was I got to give it over to somebody. Like, no, I want to know that I can have control over this thing. I can't just give it up to something. I need to figure out tools. So I used a program called Smart Recovery, which is self-management and recovery therapy. And it is peer-to-peer instead of being more of the idea of having someone that we go to and that's giving all this other stuff up. It's tools, it's toolbox. How do I make sure that I don't make these same mistakes? Similar to CBT, so cognitive behavioral therapy. If you haven't utilized that or don't know what that is, people listening at home, it's just a way to, we have a thought becomes a feeling, the feeling becomes an action. How do I find the space in between those things before a thought becomes a feeling that hurts me, that makes me do something that is going to harm myself or others, or it can be the opposite direction. So for me, it was finding these tools to be able to do it. And that eventually led me to men's work, which was something that was the fundamental change for me. So